For the keyboard input system, here is the diagram. So we have the inputable registrations pointing to the inputable, which is part of the game object. And then for the scenes, we have the keyboard event manager, which has multiple of the single key managers inside of it when keys are needed for them. And then we also have the registration broker that sends lists for the commands. And then for the scene attorney, once again, we have the input options for register, deregister, and submit commands. And then here's the inputable. It has a reference for its list in the single key manager when it gets put in. Its search data has the Azul key and the input event type. The key input is actually moved. It was in our inputable, but then I changed it so then the key input is now outside as a tool. I did this so then I wouldn't have a include loop because now since I have the referencing, I needed to reference the single key inside my inputable. So there's that for the key press and key release. And for submission, so if it finds a Azul key and the input type in the list, it'll break for the assert, and if not, it'll just continue through. And then it'll insert it into the registration keys of the inputable. So then the inputable can have multiple keys of key press, key release, depending on what the key is. Then here's the register. Key press and key release is for the uh, game object itself for the user so then they can use key press or key release. And this is the base of the virtual. Registration command. The key, this is for the key event and this is for the Azul key. This is the pointer. Then for deregistration, and then for same thing for the scene deregistration. Then we have the keyboard event manager, and it's a map so then the user can decide what key they want to use when they put it in, and then when there's a key specifically for when we're registering it, if the key is found within the map, then we can go and just add it to the already made single key manager. If there's no key manager yet, then we make a new one and send it off. And then for deregister now, since we have the delete reference, you go and find it, the single key using K. So you still have to go through the keyboard event manager's single key map using an Azul key. But then once you're inside the single key, which I'll show the header really quick. Once you're inside the single key manager, you can just use the reference and pluck it out without having to read through one by one to find it. And then you can just insert it right there. And then really quick, I'm going to show that if I have duplication that it will go and break. If I continue through, there it broke. Because it found that there was already one in there, so it broke. And then if we go for deletion, we're playing right now, and then we can hit escape. And then the inputables are going to delete all the commands. So that means inside the single key manager, they're going to go and be random numbers. So then what the single key manager is going to do is just turn them all to null pointers. So then there's no problems with them. So then these will go through and delete and set these all to that. So they're all null pointers. Then also go and erase these so then the registration key is 0. Then you'll do this for every single inputable. Then you go into the keyboard event manager, and for each key that was made, so we have 5 here for different Azul keys, you'll go through one by one and delete them and set inside the single key manager, go and set them to null pointer. So this one will go through just the one, and that's it. And then we'll have the release, and it'll just keep going through until they're all deleted. And then for documentation, this is for the keyboard event, so we can go more. It shows stuff for the keyboard event manager. And then this is for the single key.